All right, and welcome to the Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Break in the action of the IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers 2020, and today we bring you the Afro 3x3 Knockout Challenge. So, just starting off the proceedings there with a minute silence. One of our Egyptian players lost his father, so we started with the minutes of silence, and we are about to get underway with game one, and this will be the Algeria 1 team versus the Egypt 2 team. So with me I have Roy Marquez, the IWBF Development Chair of the Americas Zone, as well as the IWBF Technical Supervisor at this particular tournament. Roy, welcome to South Africa.
Thank you, Jerry. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good to have you on board here. And Roy is going to help us talk 3-on-3 basketball. So let's just give you a briefing. Yeah, so the way the tournament format's going to work at this particular competition, it's a straight knockout. So the team that loses immediately is knocked out of the competition, and the winning team will then move to the next round, which effectively works out as a quarterfinals, followed by a semi-final and a final. Roy, so 3-on-3 rules. What are we doing here with regards to the rules on 3-on-3 basketball for those viewers tuning in that don't know what?
Well, 3-on-3 wheelchair basketball is pretty close to the 3-on-3 basketball. Similarities go with the able-bodied wheelchair basketball 5-on-5. We play on the same court as the 5-on-5. The court measures 11 meters in length and fit in the same width of the normal field. 3 players on each side. They can add up to 8.5 points. Any basket scored from the field, as we just saw, is worth 1 point. Any basket scored beyond the arch is worth 2 points. I think we can get going, Jerry, and as things happen on the way, we can talk about them.
So I think one of the other key aspects is when how long is the game?
Shot clock. Oh, the game is a one period of 10 minutes, or ends after those 10 minutes, or when one team's scores reaches 21 points.
All right, so
and the shot clock period is 12 seconds and not 24.
All right, great. Well, so here we have Algeria 1 up against Egypt 2, and for Algeria we have in the Algerian team we've got number 9 is Aya Badrani, we've got number 11, number 15 is Bilal Ayashi, we've also got Abdarouf Abad as well as Nabil Goudouin. So that's the Algeria 1 side. In this particular
what we just
side,
saw is any change in possession, the ball needs to get to a player beyond the arch. The player has to have all 4 wheels behind the arch for the ball to be checked out. Same thing over here. The team wasted their 12 seconds, so the ball will go on beyond the arch, needs to be checked to the opposing player, and plays follows.
All right, great, Joe. So just looking at the Egyptian side, shot goes up there from Mohamed Abdelaziz. They also have Mahdi Abbas and Ashraf Amar. And in your Algerian side, we've got number 15 there is Bilal Ayashi, playing the ball across to Omar Zidi. And also in this team, we've got the number 12, which is Abad. I didn't quite hear. Did we talk about the point system, the classification?
Yes, we talked about it, just reminding everybody that the team can add up to 8.5 points in the 3-on-3 game.
So yeah, fast-moving action. Games go quickly. So let's see what happens here. We do apologize. It's we haven't quite got the electronic scoreboard here, but I can tell you that at this stage, the Algerian team are leading by 4 points to 1 at this point of the game. Abdelaziz for Egypt. Puts up the shot as the shot clock goes, and another point for Egypt. So Egypt 2, Algeria 4. Bilal Ayashi. And Roy, in the America zone, have you guys taken to the 3-on-3 format of this game as yet?
We haven't played any continental tournaments yet. Countries are developing the discipline within their national federations. We haven't had any opportunity to play international ball now. But we do also need to remind all our viewers that this is a relatively new discipline. Players are getting used to the rules as to the games. So I think with time we'll see better movement of the players in developing specific 3-on-3 skills.
Right, another great bit of speed there from the Algerians, but unable to make the initial attempt, and Omar Zidi converts for Algeria. So as you can see in our top left inset of the screen, that is the current score. Algeria score will be indicated on the right hand side. They currently have 5 points, and Egypt on the left hand side 2 points, and we have 4 minutes 47 left in this first encounter. Still all to play for.
As we see there, any defensive rebound, the ball needs to be taken beyond the arc. Any offensive rebound, team that's on the offense can keep on shooting to the basket.
Foul called there by the referee, and it looks like we'll have a 1 free throw. So that'll constitute 1 point for Algeria. So Algeria now 6-2. Egypt still have time to make something happen here, and they will rely on Ashraf Amar and now to Abdelaziz. But a bit of a height mismatch there, so he decides to rather throw it out to Mahdi Abbas, and the 2-point attempt there was unsuccessful. And Bilal Ayashi now for Algeria. Very dangerous from that part of the court, and he doesn't often miss. So Algeria starting to gain the ascendancy here, and the clock running down to 3 minutes 56. Abdelaziz puts up the shot, gets a point back for the Egyptians, and takes a tumble at the same time. It probably is going to take these teams a bit of time to adjust to the different rules.
Well, the rules don't change that much. I think what impacts is most of the tactics, that the game is still in development, so there's no specific tactics yet developed for 3-on-3 as the players are adjusting. For the rest of the rules, just the same. 3 seconds in the key, same types of fouls don't change. It's just the small specifics that we talked over here in terms of the court being shorter, and how the play and how the rules were developed to keep the game a fast-paced one to be fun to watch.
All right, Ayashi for Algeria puts up the shot, and another point there for Algeria, and the Egyptians now starting to run out a bit of time in this encounter. And just a reminder, should Egypt not win this game, they get knocked out automatically, and Algeria move on to the next phase of the competition. Coming up after this game, we will see the encounter between the Moroccan 2 side. They will play against the South African 1 side. So just to explain that obviously these teams are currently taking part in the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic qualifying tournament that's underway in Johannesburg, and today is a break day for the 3-on-3 tournament. So the national teams of all 4 countries have split their teams into 2 3-on-3 teams, and we will
I think
find a winner at the end of this evening's competition.
they're playing for is this tournament working?
All right, and free throw now for Morocco. Omar Zidi doesn't drop, and Abdelaziz to Mahdi Abbas. Good defense by Algeria, making it difficult for Egypt to break the key, and rebound goes out of play, and Ayashi will throw it in. Number 12 there for Algeria is Abad. Ayashi to Omar Zidi, a big, tall Algerian, adds to the scoreboard, and currently Algeria 11, Egypt 4. Good work there by Abdelaziz. And in terms of the development, obviously you being the development officer in the Americas zone, what are your impressions about the development of the African game?
Level of play of the 4 teams that are here, four men's teams that are here in this tournament is very good, very leveled, very high. Too bad many teams withdrew from the tournament for the various reasons. I think it would have added to the quality of the tournament in terms of number of games. It's always important to play high-level games to keep on developing your sport.
And the current state in South America, I mean, do you have the same sort of problems with the, for want of a better description, the lesser nations, or is it, is the game moving on quite well in the Americas?
I think America faces, when we talk about zone, faces the same challenges as Africa does in terms of the size of the zone and the wealth of the nations. So it's not only the teams but the nations that have problems with funding. So it makes it difficult for them to travel, to do exchange, to play international games more. And the only key to develop is to play against level teams.
All right, Egypt, they're unable to narrow this deficit, and time is running out, and Algeria they will progress to the next stage, and that is the end of the game. So Algeria take first blood in the opening game of this 2020 IWBF Africa Afro 3x3 knockout tournament. That's a bit of a tongue twister, Rui, but we'll get there. And the next encounter will be between Morocco 2 and the South Africa 1 team. So we'll be back shortly with the action in that encounter. Right, so now we have the second game of this Afro 3x3 knockout tournament, and South Africa 1 are taking on Morocco 2. Shane Williams for the South Africans. Shot goes up, unsuccessful there. Some confusion. It will take these players a bit of time to get used to the rules of competition. And so break and play will give me an opportunity to run through the players there. Number 5 for South Africa, and South Africa obviously in the gold strip. Number 5 there's Junior Mzileni. Number 12 is Shane Williams. The number 14 for South Africa is Cecil Dumont, and number 10 in the distance there, the substitute is Rakhetsi Moleti. For the Moroccan 2 side, we've got the number 12 there is Mohamed Bargo. Number 10 is Abdullah Ghani, and on court is the number 9 is Faoud Moussati, and the substitute for the Moroccans is Bilal Al-Lashab. All right, back to the action. No score yet, and 15 seconds played. So just a reminder, 10 minute games, or the first to 21 points. So South Africa's Mzileni puts up the shot, it doesn't drop, and the Moroccans will need to take it out past the arc and now start the attack. Mohamed Barga puts up the shot, doesn't drop. Rebound picked up by Cecil Dumont for South Africa. Thinks about a 3-point attempt, decides better of it, and working his way in. Shot clock is up at 2, and he is unsuccessful. Ball picked up by the defensive side, needs to be sent beyond the 3-point arc, and then the offensive side can begin the play. So Morocco, first points. I think the scorer there has not put the points on for Morocco, so Morocco currently should be 1 up, but I'll wait for confirmation on that. So for every foul in the act of shooting, the player that was fouled will have 1 free throw. Every point scored beyond the arc, in the arc will be 1 point, and the traditional 3-pointer will only carry a 2-point score. So, as it stands, looks like the score that they made earlier didn't count. So Morocco 0, South Africa 2. So South Africa 1 now. Moussati for Morocco, trying to find Abdullah Ghani. He puts up the shot, doesn't drop. Rebound deflects off Cecil Dumont, and good work there by Mzileni initially, and good. Unfortunately, that won't count as the Moroccans were on the defense, and they would need to send the ball out past the 3-point arc. So turnover ball, South Africa's possession now. Mzaleni puts up the shot, and it drops. So South Africa 1-2, and Morocco 2-0, just to get everybody confused there. Number 12 for Morocco is Bargo, finds Musati, shot goes up, and just in the nick of time, so Morocco 1, South Africa 2. Apologies, it looks like that previous shot didn't count, the shot clock violation. So still Morocco yet to open the account. All right, so Morocco 1, South Africa 2. 7 minutes 12 left in this encounter. Foul against the Moroccan Shane Williams. Cecil Demond 2, Junior Mzaleni puts up the shot and is fouled by Mohamed Bargo. So Shane Junior Mzaleni will go to the free throw line to try and get South Africa back into the lead. Current scoreline is South Africa 2, Morocco 2. Mzaleni rolls around the rim and he extends the lead to 3-2 to South Africa. 6 minutes 29 left. Dumont trying desperately to steal there, but loses control of his chair, and as a result, a foul is called against the South African captain. The ball has to be checked by the defensive side and then handed to the offensive side to start the offensive play there. So referee making sure that that was adhered to. And now Shane Williams will need to bring it out past the 3-point line. Thinks about taking the long shot. Puts it up anyway and successful. So South Africa 4, Morocco 2. Just a reminder, it's a straight knockout system here. If any team loses their particular encounter, they're immediately knocked out, and the winning team progresses to the next phase of competition. So Algeria 1 are already through, and the Egyptian second side are out, and the winner of this game obviously goes through to the next round. Shot clock violation against Morocco, and the South African side will have another attempt. Mzaleni puts up the shot, doesn't drop, and Morocco will pick up the rebound and will start the offensive play from behind the arc. Number 10 for Morocco is Abdullah Ghani, 2 Mohamed Bargo. South African defenders keeping the Moroccans out of the zone, and shot goes up just to the nick of time, and Morocco able to pick up the rebound, but good defensive play there by Mzaleni for South Africa. And Morocco, though, will have possession. 5 minutes 10 left in this game, and we have a 2-point deficit. South Africa in front. A reminder, South Africa in the gold and green kit, and Morocco playing in red. Williams for South Africa. thinks about a 3-point attempt, which is a 2-pointer, and passes it to Mzileni. He's unable to convert, and Morocco now with Abdullah Ghani puts up the shot and drops, so Morocco moved to within 1 point. Mzileni to Shane Williams. Shane Williams will look to put it up. Doesn't drop for him. A rebound picked up there by Fahoud Al Mousati for Morocco. Finds Mohamed Barga. Moroccans trying to break the key, which they successfully are able to do so with Ghani, but he was unable to make anything count. But South Africa has managed to keep possession. Shot clock is about to sound. Shane Williams had to put up the last-ditch attempt there, and it doesn't drop for South Africa. So Morocco, opportunity now to bring the scores level. Mousati closely watched there by Mzileni. Working well with Cecil Dumont. Shot goes in, and excellent shot there from Fahoud Al Mousati, and he now brings the scores level. Morocco 4, South Africa now 5, as Junior Mzileni hits back immediately. Mousati into Mohamed Barga, and Shane Williams seems to be having a problem with his strapping. So substitution, and into the game checks Rakhetsi Moleti for South Africa. Scores level. Shot clock, of course, as we mentioned earlier, in the 3-on-3 version of the game, the teams have 12 seconds to get a shot up, and a lot quicker action here. Foul is called against the South African captain, Cecil Dumont. Mousati for Morocco to Mohamed Barga. Unsuccessful there, and Moleti hands it over to Mzileni. Dumont looking for the gap. Finds Moleti. Moleti unable to convert, much to his frustration. And Morocco with Mousati. He will put up the 2-point attempt. It doesn't drop. And fortunately for Morocco, and Cecil Dumont unable to pick up the rebound, and they will have another opportunity to try and take the lead in this particular encounter. Ball drops kindly for the South Africans, and Rakhetsi Moleti in possession for South Africa, working with Mzileni. Has to put up the shot, doesn't drop, and Morocco, time running down now, 1 minute 45. Ghani puts a pass through to Mousati. Will he convert for Morocco? He does. So Morocco into the lead. South Africa will need to start making their opportunities count. Mzileni, what can he do for the South African side? Shot clock at 1. Good defensive play there by Morocco, and unfortunately for the South Africans, they turn the possession over, and Ghani to Bargo. 1 minute 10 left on the game clock. Can he convert for Morocco? He can't. Brace now to pick up the possession, and the blue line there is an out of bounds area, so Morocco lose possession, and South Africa will have an opportunity now to try and level this encounter, and the clock is now under the 1 minute mark. So South Africa need to start converting if they stand any chance. Shot clock is at 1. He puts up the Hail Mary shot, and it doesn't drop for him. Roy, that looks like the South African players are not adjusting to the 24-second
12
shot clock,
seconds.
and it's only 12, and they're taking a bit too long to try
Let's
and.
call it shot clock because so we don't need to keep differentiating. Since we have a close game here, it's important to talk about overtime procedures. And
Yes.
typically from the 5-on-5, where we have a set time of 5 minutes as overtime. In 3-on-3, it's not a set time. The winner will be the team who scores 2 points first, and that's it, 2 points. So if they tie here 8-8, the first team who reaches 10 will win the game. Doesn't matter if they tie at 9 again.
All right, well,
in the overtime.
Well, that's good to understand. But in this instance, the missed opportunities for the South Africans have cost them, and they now exit the tournament. And Morocco too will progress to the next stage. Coming up after this game, we will have the encounter between the second South African team, and they will take on Egypt 1. So we will be back shortly as soon as that game gets underway. Right, and back to the Mandeville, Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre here in South Africa, and game 3 now of the men's competition of the 2020 IWBF Africa Afro 3x3 knockout tournament. And coming up in this match, we've got the second South African team, and they will take on Egypt 1. For the South African team, I will go through their names shortly, as well as the Egyptian side. All right, for Egypt, we have Mohamed Sabri there, number 5. He puts up the shot. And the number 10 for Egypt is, of course, Bebo. And number 13 for Egypt we have is Rabi Gouda. For South Africa, on the ball now is Jaco van Niekerk. And he puts up the shot, doesn't drop though. We also have number 11 for South Africa is Tandile Zonke. And number 6 is Zakele Shalembe. Substitute for South Africa is Warren Tefu, and we'll confirm the Egyptian substitute as soon as he enters the court. Bebo for Egypt. No scores at this point, and foul is called against the number 11 for South Africa. That's Tandile Zonke. And Roy, in the 3-on-3 basketball format, what would you say from a wheelchair perspective is the most important strategy to be successful in this format?
Again, as we've been talking, the strategy is being developed and will be developed by players, by teams. It's not a new sport, but it's a new discipline, so there's a lot of learning. The learning process is still in place. It will be much the same as who saw it, the 5-on-5 for FIBA. There was a lot of development, there's a lot of new things that came to this discipline of the able-bodied game, and I see the same happening here. I think we'll see a lot of new things, a lot of new tactics, and a lot of new moves in the next few years while these guys do their best on the floor to develop this discipline.
And what is it's quite interesting within the FIBA 3-on-3 sort of world tours and stuff like that is that it's not your 5-on-5 players really that play 3-on-3 basketball. It allows the opportunity for different players to stake a claim for the different format of the game.
And that's exactly what happened. In the beginning of the 5-on-5, we had players that, in the beginning of the 3-on-3, we had players that migrated or came from the 5-on-5 game to play it. As the discipline developed and developed their own tactics and its own moves, and players began to develop different skills than the 5-on-5 game, 3-on-3 players showed up, and today they are better 3-on-3 basketball players than the 5-on-5, even though a lot of 5-on-5 players are stars. But the discipline, it's the same game again, but the discipline is so different that needs these different skills to be played at high level.
And I think if we can compare it to the likes in rugby, we have 7-a-side, and of course cricket, we've got the T20 versions of the game. So I think from a basketball perspective, the governing bodies have realised that they need to also have some different entertainment for the basketball fans out there.
And not only that, we will see that the 3-on-3, because it's a smaller team, it makes it easier for countries that are less fortunate with money. It's easier for them to travel. It's easier. It's a smaller team. It will cost less. So the idea is to give opportunity to spread the game around the world. As we know, chairs are not cheap. So it all adds into trying to get wheelchair basketball to many countries as we can.
You know, absolutely, Ray. And I think from a South African perspective, one of the one of the strategies wheelchair basketball South Africa has is, for the junior development of the game. I think 3-on-3 basketball is a perfect version to, we've got schools, for example, that don't have the equipment, the chairs and that, and it gives them the opportunity to, work with lesser equipment and be able to now start developing players. So that's definitely a strategy.
I agree with you, but still, we still see 3-on-3 as a development tool for the 5-on-5, and my personal perspective and understanding is that while this develops and when it develops, it's going to become a whole different discipline, and it will be a different game.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we'll have countries that will excel and will be top countries in 3-on-3, and maybe not the same countries that are powerhouses in the 5-on-5.
Exactly that, yes. Well, this particular encounter looks like it could be quite an exciting one.
It has been tied since minute one.
Tandile Zonke for South Africa, laying it off to Van Niekerk and the youngster Shelembe, a young man from the Mlazi township in Durban, and I took him through to the 2017 Toronto Under-23 World Champs, and phenomenal development that he's had since that particular tournament, and it's good to see some of the young players in South Africa coming through into the seniors teams.
For me, that's the biggest pathway of a player. They need to start early. They need to get to these world tournaments that are underage or age limited early to keep developing, to play international wheelchair basketball at high level since young age.
Yeah, absolutely. And from a South African perspective, we're very fortunate to have the likes of Sasol, our major sponsor, that as much as they assist our senior national teams, they're also very much involved with our junior national team program. So
that is very important. Looking at the long term, that's what you need to do to keep your program rolling, at least at the same level.
All right, Tandile Zonke for South Africa. Shot clock is at 5. Offensive foul called against the South Africans there, and Egypt looking to narrow this deficit to 1 point. Rabi Gouda to Mohamed Sabri. Sabri puts up the shot, and of course the veteran Egyptian is quite deadly on most occasions from that sort of range, so he narrows the gap down to 1 point. Van Niekerk will put up a 2-point attempt, and it bounces out of play, and Egypt will have the put-in. I suppose it's also a bit of an adjustment for the referees.
Obviously, it's an adjustment for everybody. The learning process will be pretty much the same for everybody. Again, learning from what happened to the 5-on-5. The star referees of the 3-on-3 game are not the same as the star referees for the 5-on-5, because they need to learn the dynamics of this new discipline. The 5-on-5, the game stops a lot more. The ball reaches the hands of the referees a lot more. Over here, it's much more a dynamic game. It's the players that check the ball in, so the ball does not get to the referee. It's, again, understanding this new discipline, how it will develop, how it will be a learning curve for everybody involved in the game.
And just to talk about the officiating side of the game, we'll move away from the 3-on-3 briefly. Just the development of the African referees, and of course in this tournament we've obviously seen some of the African referees coming through. How have you found the standard of officiating amongst the African officials?
I think the whole zone is developing all together, and that's what it needs to be. You can't have a great team without a good official to officiate the high-level game. Officials have improved with the players of this zone, and they're getting more exposure internationally.
Excellent, yeah. All right, Egypt with Sabri trying to get past Zonke, wasn't able to do so. Good work there by Jaco Van Niekerk, picks up the rebound, hands it over to Shelembe. Zonke will think about a long shot, but decides better against it, and a bit of a wayward pass from the veteran number 11 there for South Africa, Zonke. scores level once again. Just over 4 minutes to play in this game. Just a reminder, if you've just tuned in, 10-minute games, unless you're the first to 21 points. So a shortened version of the game, and that will be only 1 point. The referee Clara Bajero indicating that to the table. So South Africa.
He had one wheel inside the arc, so she
correct
was right.
Call, of course. Egyptians were hoping that it wasn't picked up, but our Spanish referee is very much on the ball, and South Africa draw level once again. Mohamed Sabri launches it through to Rabi Gouda, and Jaco van Niekerk fouls, reaching backwards and fouls.
When
Rabi
we
Gouda.
talk about fouls, it's another interesting thing. Differently from the 5-on-5, there's no personal fouls on this game. So it's the team that gets penalized with the amount of fouls and not the players. Then you come and talk to me, oh, so the player can do 10 fouls on the game? Yes, he can, but he will penalize his team. What happens is there's just change of possession until the 7th foul. Until the 6th foul, sorry. Foul 7, 8, and 9, the team gets awarded 2 free throws, and from foul 10 on, the team gets 2 free throws plus possession. So from foul 10 on, it resembles an unsportsmanlike foul in the 5-on-5. But still on 3-on-3, we still have technicals for the same reasons, unsportsmanlike fouls for the same reasons, and disqualifying foul for the same reasons.
Zonke takes South Africa into the lead, and this is you can sense the excitement now within Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre here. It's basically the teams are trading blows, and all to play for with 2 minutes 40 left in this encounter. South Africa now with the possession, they'll really want to make this one count and take a 2-point advantage. Can Zonke get the shot up? The shot clock's running down. He's looking for the foul, not given, and unfortunately for the Egyptians, they did not take the ball over the arc to start the play again, so they turned the ball over. If I got that one right.
That is. He didn't have all 4 wheels outside of the arc, so that's a violation, and that's why the ball went back to South Africa.
So, Egypt now, can they convert? They don't. The rebound goes to the Egyptians, and foul is called on number 7 for South Africa, Jaco van Niekerk. So number 7 there for Egypt is the substitute Al Sawabi, and Al Sawabi should look to bring the Egyptians level. Takes his time, puts up the shot, doesn't drop for him, but the rebound is picked up by Rabi Gouda. Once again, he's unable to convert. So ball comes out, 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left in this game. Zonke to van Niekerk. Van Niekerk will put the shot up. Wayward once again from van Niekerk. Big strong number 7 there for South Africa. Shot goes up. Mohamed Sabri converts, so level game. Maybe we have our first potential overtime. Yeah, let's see what happens. There's still plenty of time though for South Africa. What can they come up with in this play? Shalembe driving against Sabri, against foul against Egypt on van Niekerk, and he puts the shot up just in the nick of time, and he will go to the line for 1 free throw.
This can hurt them, but because with a very close game like this, having 2 points of advantage with 1.5 minutes to go, they can be in a good spot.
So van Niekerk takes his time, puts up the shot on the drop. So Egypt now have a lot of work to do. They will need to obviously convert and make sure that South Africa don't. And good work there by the South Africa number 7, van Niekerk, and he finds Zonke to Shalembe. Back to Zonke. Shot clock at 6. Can he put it up? He thinks about it. He will now have to throw up a Hail Mary and almost falls for him. Can van Niekerk find the rebound? He does, but unable to keep it in play. Mohamed Sabri now for Egypt. Puts up a long 2-point attempt, and that doesn't drop. So can South Africa hold on here? As Zonke tried to find van Niekerk. Apologies for the loss of the scoreboard. We just have one small technical problem, but that'll be back up immediately. There we go. And 2-point attempt from Mohamed Sabri. Zonke unable to convert. Ball bounce out of play. So what can Egypt do? Can he set himself up for the 2-pointer? South Africa will have to defend hard here. Unlucky there for Mohamed Sabri. Zonke will look to use up as much of that 12 seconds, and young Shalembe was not on the same page as the veteran Zonke, and I can tell you, knowing Zonke very well, not impressed.
So Egypt has called a timeout to try to set the last play of the game, see if they can score
good
2 points.
Good call there from the Egyptians. I think obviously with the pace of the game, it's easy just to get rushed and not calm it down. They're still very much in this game. And just once again welcoming everybody that is tuning in from around the world. A shout out to Jaco van Niekerk's wife, Janine van Niekerk, watching this live stream. Also to Wahid Abdidate, excuse the pronunciation. Erika Yoshida watching from Japan. Donnie Smith, and of course Algeria's captain Nabil Goodwan. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast of the 3-on-3. And Egypt, my apologies. Pull within 1 point, so they just need to hold on. And that is the end of the game. So South Africa squeaked through in a very, very entertaining game that was.
Yes, it was very good. It was a very good game to watch. Very close.
Excellent. So the next match coming up in a short while, we'll see the Algeria 2 side, and they will take on Morocco 1. So we will return shortly, and please don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes. Ready. All right, welcome back to Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre in Johannesburg. The fourth game of the initial pool stage here, and Algeria are taking on Morocco. Algeria 2 versus Morocco 1. For Morocco, we've got number 4 in possession of the ball is Zahir Shalat. We have number 5, Mohamed Oulini. And their tall number 13 is Rida Matoui. For Algeria, we have Rafik Mansouri in possession at the moment. Also, for Algeria, we have the man in possession of the ball is the number. Sorry, I'm just trying to find number 6. Number 5 is Sharashia. Okay, Mohamed Oulini. Rida Matoui makes these scores level at this stage. Early days still. Mansouri for Morocco. Looking to find facial Saracia. Apologies to all my friends in Morocco and Algeria, if I'm pronouncing these names right. Mohamed Oulini. Morocco in the lead at this stage, 2-1. Algeria with Mansouri. Tries to pass it through the zone, and luckily for Algeria, the Moroccans find themselves out of bounds. Mansouri, closely watched there by Zohair Shalat. Picked up there by the number 4 for Algeria, which was Oussama Begradji. Rida Matoui converts for Morocco, and he will go to the line. And we're just talking further about the 3-on-3 game and the development of the game. What are the plans from the IWBF side in terms of World Championships and that type of major tournaments?
We are indicating to our members the plans, but right now many countries do not have 3-on-3 developed yet, so it makes it kind of hard to set an international schedule if we don't have teams developed within the game. We will take these opportunities to try to make 3-on-3 happen as we're doing here, but to have an international schedule, we needed to have developed in many countries. We will share with our members this wish of an international calendar, because we want this discipline to be included, or at least be thought, for the Paris 2024 games, and for that we need to have an international schedule. It's set in place with tournaments played within the next 4 years.
And from the Commonwealth Games point of view, I believe the 3-on-3 format is what they will.
Oh yes, the
introduce.
Commonwealth Games are very supportive of IWBF and this new discipline. They have already included 3-on-3 discipline in their next games. So for us, it's a very important opportunity to showcase what the game is about, how it's played, how it's nice to watch, how it's fast-paced, what you all have been experiencing here. So that is the first step of our international schedule, but our idea is to, as the Commonwealth Games, partner up with all the other regional games that are qualifiers for the Paralympic Games to showcase the 3-on-3 discipline and try to have it included in the games program as soon as possible.
Well, that's good to hear. And again, we have touched on the development aspect of it, but what it really does do is gives the so-called smaller countries, and I'm going to talk from an African perspective, countries that maybe are struggling financially to field the 5-on-5 version of the game. This gives them the opportunity to get into international competition and therefore hopefully develop their 5-on-5 competitions.
I think everything leads to each other, but what's most important is developing wheelchair basketball throughout the world. Doesn't matter if it's 3-on-3 and 5-on-5. Both disciplines will develop and grow together. It's just a matter of understanding that they're two different disciplines and not one base for another or the other way around. A lot of players from the 5-on-5 will experience the 3-on-3, and at one point in the game, because of this will be so specific, they will need to decide to which one they will want to play.
Zohair Shalat for Morocco, unable to get past Rafik Mansouri, but the Algerian number 7 fouls Morocco's Zohair Shalat, so he will go to the line, and Morocco enjoy a 4-2 lead at this stage. 5 minutes 55 left. Can Shalat convert? He is unable to, but the Algerians entered the zone too quickly there, so he will have another attempt. And makes the Algerians pay for that, and that small little mistake could prove costly in this format of the game.
Exactly, because once you let a team open 3 or 4 points, it becomes very hard to come back with that point difference. As we have repeated, it's only a 10-minute game, so it's very hard to score that many baskets and not let your opponent score in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So just, if you look at it, what this format of the game will potentially do is make players become more aware of these small little unforced errors that creep into your 5-on-5 game, and if they start picking up, oh, hold on, we're making these errors, it's costing us. As the example that just happened there, that also that costs teams in the 5-on-5 version of the game. So,
but that's a technical aspect that these players will need to learn throughout the development of the game. Is that mistakes in the 3-on-3 format cost a lot more than the mistakes on the 5-on-5. In 5-on-5, you have a lot more time to recover from a mistake than you have here.
Yeah. And again, just reverting back to the development side of the sport, if the junior development goes with the 3-on-3 route, these small little technical things will become a lot easier when they progress into the 5-on-5 version of the game. Yeah.
We have said it before, and we will repeat it. The development of both disciplines need to happen together. The important thing is to develop wheelchair basketball throughout the world.
Just also want to make a special mention to our major sponsor, Sasol, for allowing us to broadcast not only the 3-on-3 tournament that's going on at the moment, but of course the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic qualifiers, and a big shout out also to the team here from TV Sports and News Productions. Some great images coming through of this wheelchair basketball event that's taking place in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Well, we just saw one thing that's very characteristic of this discipline, the referee showing with 1 foot on each side of the arc that the player had not taken all 4 wheels outside of the arc, and that is a violation to the rules, so the team cannot keep on the offense. Hakim
Badashi for Algeria. fouled though by Zohair Shalat, and Badashi will go to the line. And Morocco at this stage are looking quite comfortable with their 4-point advantage. So the Algerians, time running out, will need to definitely start by making this one count, which he is unable to. But fortunately, can Mansouri pick up the rebound? But good work there from the Moroccan number 5, Mohamed Oulini. One of the nice aspects of wheelchair basketball is, when a player's down, the opposing team often assists the opponent, which is good to see.
Well, this for me is one of the greatest aspects of this game, is how the players do understand how hard it is sometimes to get up on their chair, and they don't just watch. They go and help because they all feel it.
Yes. Although I think on certain games they might not be so hospitable. Anyway, back to the action. Mansouri to Hakim Badashi. Badashi spinning. 2 seconds on the shot clock. He needs to get this up. And unfortunately for the Moroccans, the tall number 13, Reda Maturi, fouls him. So Badashi once again will have a chance to narrow the deficit. But the time's running out for the Algerians, so definitely needs to make this one count. Once again, doesn't drop, but fortunately for Algeria, he picks up his own rebound, spins away from the attention of Mohamed Oulini, finds Mansouri. Mansouri to Hakim Badashi. Can he score for them? He does. So chipping away here. They'll need to stop the Moroccan side from getting points. But I think Zohair Shalat will put up the 2. Excuse me, and he does. So I think almost safe to say that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh, that's what we need to adapt and adjust the game. That's why we call it the arc, right?
Yes.
5-on-5, we call it the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Here's not the 3-point line. It's the arc.
It's just as much as the players are adapting to the changes, so are the commentators.
Exactly. Everybody will need to adjust, and everybody will need to develop the skills for the 3-on-3.
Do excuse the pun about the breaking of the camel's back, obviously with reference to our North African friends here. Badashi. Once again, Morocco come away with it. Oulini launches it to Reda Maturi. Deadly from those positions, as we've seen throughout this week.
That is his sweet spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very rarely he makes a mistake.
You could almost put your house on him scoring from those sort of positions. It's a total blowout right now. I think Morocco 1 will be progressing through against Algeria 2. So the winner of this game will play South Africa 2, who just beat Egypt, and in the other semi-final, you will have the Algerian 1 side up against the Moroccan 2 side. So it looks like Morocco have got the ascendancy on there with 2 teams in the semi-final. It'll be interesting to see if they can get both of their teams into the semi-finals. Good work though by Hakim Badashi, still chipping away at the score. Shalat for Morocco thinks about the 2-point attempt. Good work, excellent play there by the Moroccans, except for the finish by Oulini, but good work there by Zohair Shalat with a great pass into the zone. Foul called. Badashi again will have an opportunity to narrow the gap, but with 38 seconds left, Roy,
I don't think they will overcome 9 points in 38 seconds.
That would be an impressive feat, but it's not likely to happen. Picks up his rebound. Can he convert? No joy for the Algerians at this stage. Shalat will put up a 2-point attempt. Doesn't drop. Rebound picked up by Badashi. Takes it out the arc. Drives in, but good defensive work there by Shalat. Algeria, though, pick up their rebound. And, of course, they're in the offense, so they're allowed to spin around and carry on playing there.
When a team catches its own rebound, it can shoot again. Doesn't need to go beyond the arc.
And that will be that. So the Moroccan one side has beaten Algeria 2 by 13 points to 4, and they progress to the semi-finals. Coming up now will be the semi-finals for the ladies. Unfortunately, with the withdrawal of a couple of the countries from the tournament, we have Algeria and South Africa, so it'll be Algeria 1 versus South Africa 2 in the first semi-final, and in the second semi-final we'll have South Africa 1 versus Algeria 2. In fact, that first women's game is going on in the other courts, as you can see in the shot that you got there. Yeah, let's have a look now at the action in the women's competition. So this is Algeria 1 up against South Africa 2. So let me have a look. We've got Narain Boublal for Algeria. We've got Abdulali for Algeria, and the number 8 there for Algeria is Fatima Bouzidi, and for the South African team, we've got Kelebokhele Moeng, we've got Danao Musemi, and we've got Dudu Gwaza. Current score here looks like Algeria 1 and South Africa now 1. Unfortunately, we do not have the angle on the scoreboard for the camera, so we'll do our best to keep you up to date on this score. So South Africa currently leads 2 points to 1. So Boublal will look to put up the shot with 1 second left. Doesn't drop. We have 7 minutes 52 left in this first women's game. Kelebokhele Moeng for South Africa. All right, so the score now in your left-hand side of the screen, and the 2 belongs to South Africa. The 1 is Algeria. 7 minutes 40 left in this game. And Roy, obviously, we've been talking a lot about the men's side of the game, the development of the women's game as a whole. How's it? Let's talk Americas.
They're developing as the same. It's a characteristic of this game that it's harder to get women involved than it is men, but they are developing. They're doing the same. IWBF has taken the same steps with the women that it has done with the men. So the men have the world under 23, the women have the world under 25. That has helped the women get more opportunities to play high-level games against each other. So it is going, it is developing. We need to give time to time for them to reach the same level of the numbers of playing as the men do. But if you watch cross sports, all sports, in many of them, most of them, there are more men playing than women. Characteristic of the 3-on-3 that we were talking, like South Africa was beaten by all games this week by Algeria, and here we have a balanced game. So it is very interesting when you change the discipline, when you reduce the number of players, how the characteristic and the skills needed are different and balances off.
Absolutely, that's the one thing about the 3-on-3 game is, we've got number 9 for Algeria, Jamila Kemgani, who has absolutely dominated the tournament on the women's side, and yet the South African girls seem to be keeping her in check right now. So absolutely, and I just need to say the South African team have 8 players that took part in the under-25 Worlds in Thailand. So a young side and showing all the potential. So great work from Wheelchair Basketball South Africa to recognise youth development.
Well, each program needs to understand their own moment. South Africa has had great teams before. It reached a moment that the federation decided that it was time to get new players in, and obviously it's going to take time for those players to develop. It's not from night to day. So you will need to give them opportunities to play, to develop, and I'm certain that pretty soon these players will be at the level in their zone that they were a few years ago. No question, no doubt about that.
Absolutely, and it's, yeah, I mean, even last year in Thailand, obviously you've got your stronger nations there, but the team from Thailand was put together about 3 months before the tournament, and as the tournament developed, so the players improved. And you know, just looking at some of our under 25 players for the South African team that are in here, the progression that they've made since then has been staggering. So yeah, it's good to see, and let's hope some other countries can also get the women's program up and running.
That's the important thing of developing a world calendar, is giving these players opportunity to play at high level most that they can. You only develop when you play at a level that you are challenged.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 5 minutes left in this encounter. South Africa doing well, and 5-2 up. Moeng puts up the shot, doesn't drop. Rebound picked up by Jamila Kemgani. Desperate to not let the South African girls pull away, and seems a little bit off today, and Kelebogile Moeng for South Africa. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. She'll need to get something up very shortly, but that will not help her cause, and Algeria once again with possession.
One thing that our spectators have noticed but not have asked the question, how do you decide which team starts with the ball? As we've seen that there's no tap off, you do a coin toss, so the team who wins the coin toss can decide if they start the game with the possession of the ball, or if they start the overtime, if it happens, with the possession of the ball. So it's kind of a strategy and a chess play, like, do I start with the ball now, or if overtime happens, do I want the ball because the first team who scored 2 points gets the game?
Yeah, absolutely. It sort of adds an interesting dynamic to the strategy that these teams have got to come up with. Just a shout out to Marcos Gonzalez watching from Brazil.
Countryman, fala Marquinhos.
And it's our pleasure for bringing these games live to you, and I hope you're enjoying it, watching it in Brazil. Rebound picked up by the South Africans. They will need to get the ball back over the arc, and Algeria chipping away at that initial 3-point lead. So South Africa definitely want to start converting. They don't want to let the good work of the initial stages slip away. And now Algeria have an opportunity to bring this down to 1 point.
And this is the time I congratulate all the organization here in South Africa. It's very important to be broadcasting games as much as we want. It gives the opportunity for people around the world to look at the game, to watch the game, watch what's being done in other countries. And again, watching is also developing.
Absolutely, and I know from a South African perspective, a lot of our players are tuning into any possible live broadcast of any wheelchair basketball, and I think it's very important that we, as countries, we showcase this amazing sport. The action now on both courts. We've had the start of the semi-final between Morocco and Algeria in the men's section, but we'll stay with this women's encounter and move across to the men's encounter as soon as we're done here, because this one looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Oh yeah, we got a 1 point difference, 2 minutes to go. This game is very interesting, very close game. What we see here is because this is a new discipline, not all players are really familiarized with the rules, so we see the referee teaching a lot, which is important. But the more the players understand the rules, the better the game develops.
As Algeria draw level, so just some good early work there by the South African girls, but I think now, by the looks of it, Algeria have sort of settled down a bit, and South Africa will need to make every opportunity count.
Oh, it's still a tied game, and as we've spoken, mistakes here hurt a lot more than the 5-on-5 game that everybody's used to.
Jamila Kimgani there, very dangerous player, and she drives in, puts up the shot, and is fouled by Musemi, and Musemi will send Jamila Kimgani to the line. Kimgani now extends Algeria's lead to 7-5, and we have 2 minutes 3 seconds left in this first women's semi-final. If I look across to the men's semi-final, I would love to tell you what the score is, but I can't see it from this angle.
1-0.
And now we shoot across to the men's game.
That's another great characteristic of the 3-on-3. You can have 2 games being played in the same court, so it speeds up the game. If you have people watching as we do here, it makes it very interesting for them because play never stops. You have action going on at all times.
All right. So it looks like it's 2-0 there to the Moroccans, and we'll go quickly back to the women's game now with 2 minutes left. South Africa, can they pull this back? Gwaza throws up a long, unorthodox looking shot, and it doesn't fall for her. And Algeria.
That was a resource she had with the clock winding down. Remember, this 12 seconds go by very fast.
Exactly that, and we saw the Algerians just pretty much got possession of the ball, and the time went
the
very
teams
quickly.
do have only 12 seconds to get the rebound of the ball, get the ball outside of the arc, and then back in again and be in a good position to score. It's a very fast-paced game.
Shot clock at 2. She's going to have to throw it up again, and it's a wayward attempt. So South Africa letting the initial good work slip, and Algeria looking
I think that's the biggest
comfortable.
adjustments players will need to do, is that these 12 seconds go by a lot faster than the 24 that they're used to.
Yeah. Okay, Abdelali puts it up for the Algerians. It doesn't drop there, and the number 8 is Fatima Bouzidi for Algeria, and unable to pick up the position. So South Africa will try and just narrow this gap. 9 seconds left, 8 seconds and 7 seconds on the shot clock. Gwaza will have to do another long throw. I wouldn't describe that as a shot really, but it's a difficult adjustment for the
Algeria is really guarding way up there, so they're not allowing the South Africans to get close to the basket, making them make long shots, which makes it more difficult.
Excellent pass there from Jamila Kimgani to Abdelali, and with 52 seconds left on the clock, it's all but done for Algeria, and I think at this stage we can move across to the men's game and see what's happening in this action here. So Bilal Ayashi. All right, so Morocco in possession. Mohamed Bargo finds the number 8 there for Morocco. Number 8 for Morocco, of course, is Bilal Ben Haman. Bilal Ayashi puts up the 2-point long-range shot, and it counts. So we will give you an update on the score shortly. There we go. Looks like Morocco are comfortably in the lead. No, correction. Looks like Algeria are comfortably in the lead here. So, Bilal. All right, Morocco now. Ghani for Morocco finds Musati. Mohamed Bargo. Rebound picked up by Algeria. Bilal Ayashi to, and the final buzzer goes on the other court with the women's game. Algeria winning that encounter by 9 points to 5. So they progress to the final. Shot goes up there from the Algerians, so they lead now. Sorry, correction by the Moroccans. Algeria 8, Morocco 3. Turnover ball, Algeria. Morocco trying to make something happen here in this play. Mohamed Bargo puts up a hook shot as the buzzer goes, but the rebound falls to the big Algerian Omar Zidi. Omar Zidi converts for Algeria. Algeria 9, Morocco 3 at this stage. We've got just under 4 minutes to play in this encounter, and the timeout was called by the Algerians, and that basket will not count. So 9-3. In terms of the timeouts, Roy, just to remind the viewers that hadn't tuned in earlier, how many timeouts are each team allowed?
Each team has one timeout in the 10-minute period. That's it. No timeout, no extra timeouts for overtime.
Okay. How have you enjoyed your stay here in South Africa since you arrived on when was it, Friday last week?
Yeah, very good. We've been kind of busy with all that went on. We had clinics for the African officials. Then we had tournament starting, so we've been very busy since last Friday. But it's been pleasant. It's been great. Weather has helped. We had fun. We love what we do. We love wheelchair basketball. That's what we're here for.
And have you had much opportunity to see anything interesting in your stay here, or has it all been work?
Oh, we got a couple mornings off, and we went here and there. We went to the Lion Park, see a few lions. Went to a flea market today, get some crafts from South Africa. It's interesting to be around the culture, see how people live, how they behave. It's nice.
Apologies if we've behaved badly, but we'll do our best to make sure that you guys have a great time in South Africa.
The only problem is you, Jared. The rest is fine.
I know that. All right, so Abdel Ghani for Morocco plays in Mohamed Vargo, and Vargo, costly to miss those sort of opportunities, especially with the likes of Bilal Ayashi and Omar Zidi, as well as the man in possession of the ball at the moment.
Again, for the ones that are used to seeing the referee call out the number of the player who fouled, here we don't care about the number of the player who fouled unless it's an unsportsmanlike foul. 2 of those, he gets ejected from the game. Otherwise, it's just a team foul. If it's up to 6 and the player was not shooting, they just check the ball up there. Foul 7, 8, and 9, the player has 2 free throws. And then from foul 10 on, the team gets through 2 free throws plus possession of the ball.
All right, Ayashi for Algeria. Unable to convert is the number 12 for Algeria. It's Abad. And Morocco through Mohamed Barga. narrows that lead to 5 points. But again, the time is ticking away here for Morocco to make something happen. They've definitely got to shut the Algerians out on this play. Bilal Ayashi puts up a shot as the buzzer goes, and Morocco, what can they do? Can they come back in this game? Nine for Morocco there. Faoud Musati. But again, as we've seen, that shot clock goes very quickly, and the guys have got to adjust and make something happen a lot quicker than they are at this present time. Ayashi. 2-point shot going up there by Musati. Rims it. And I think Morocco have no choice but to try the 2-point attempts at the stage.
At the stage the shot clock was. He needed to, otherwise he'd lose his possession without an attempt.
Well, if you look at it, there's only if they can be successful on 2 shots from out the arc and they don't allow Algeria in, who knows? Maybe we do have an interesting finish to this one. Good defense.
That's a good defense. If they can get a 2-pointer here, close the gap.
And I think that's definitely, well, okay,
his chair just rolled a bit too much for a 2-point there.
I also think he was a little bit rushed there. He should have set something up. But I suppose, again, if you've got the chance to shoot.
Well, they're trying for the 2-pointers. The problem is his chair just rolled a bit too much and touched the line. If it had gone in, it would be, unfortunately, a 1 point.
All right, so Bilal Ayashi will try and extend this lead. The ever reliable Ayashi. Commentators curse, Roy.
Sorry?
I said commentators curse here as Ayashi misses that attempt.
Oh, yeah.
Good work from Mohamed Bargo. Knocks the ball out of bounds, but
time is winding out.
Yeah, Algeria.
Router.
If he sinks this, it's game over in my opinion, and whistle. Ayashi needs to pass the ball to the Moroccan before he can get it started. There we go.
Yes.
All right, now he can try that again, but he will look now to use up the shot clock and push there from Bargo. Sends Ayashi flying onto the floor. Looks like a substitution imminent. No, the status quo 12 for Algeria on court at the moment is Raouf Abad, and an offensive team foul called there for the referee.
As we've seen, understanding the game is very easy. The fouls are the same, the violations are the same.
Good break there from Musati. Needs to convert. Opportunity missed once again. Ball out of bounds. Looks like the last touch there was from Algeria, and Morocco definitely now looking for a 2-point attempt. I take it from a defensive point of view, the defensive team needs to stay behind the arc when we start the new possession.
Nope, we don't. We just need to check the ball. The defensive team can be wherever they want to be on the floor.
Alrighty, good to hear, good to know that. Shot clock goes off. So Morocco. Well, let's see what we can do. Need a very quick 2-point attempt here. Here it comes from Musati. Does it drop? No, it doesn't, and that will be that. Algeria will move out of the arc, and Ayashi will look to add insult to injury, and that he does. So that will be that, and the final score in the first semi-final in the men's IWBF Africa Afro 3x3 knockout tournament goes to Algeria 1. Algeria 1 progressed to the final, and they will play the winner of our next encounter, and that will be South Africa 2 up against Morocco 1. And welcome back. Sorry, we had a short break there, and we currently have the second women's semi-final on court. Images coming to you thanks to the awesome team at TV and Sports News Productions. And of course, Cecil, the proud partner of Wheelchair Basketball South Africa, bringing us these images. Algeria currently 4-2 up in this encounter, and Mahimda there for Algeria. That rebound picked up by Linda Bosele. Plays it to Viwe Ngoni. Bosele trying to use her height, but good defense by the Algerian ladies. Obviously, when a player goes down in the zone, the referees must stop the game immediately.
They must, but this wasn't the player on the floor. He actually called a foul.
Okay.
For blocking. But yes, whenever a player is down in the restricted area, referee should stop it as quick as possible to have the player's safety.
All right, so the men's competition has got underway again, and we'll move across to the other second semi-final now between Morocco and South Africa, and we will keep you informed as to the outcome of the ladies' game, and we will be moving backwards and forwards. And that, as we alluded to earlier, Roy, the beauty about this is we have two games going on, so it's hard to keep focused, but we will try and keep you all informed as to how things are going.
And we need to congratulate our director of images over here that has allowed us to go back and forth between both courts, and we can watch action in both courts.
Good job there by our producer Ronnie Tippett, doing a fantastic job with her graphics and of course to the rest of the team. All right, Jaco Fanike for South Africa puts up the 2-point attempt, doesn't drop, and Morocco not going across the arc there.
And the referee just called him on that, and that basket was not allowed.
Well picked up there by referee Mahmoud Hassan from Egypt, one of the top officials in the continent. Fanike.
He's very good, he's very skilled.
All right, and Shalat for Morocco. Fakes one way and sends Shalembe the wrong direction, but fortunately for the South Africans, unable to convert. Fanike puts it up, does it drop? Can he get his rebound? He can't, and the tall 13 for Morocco is Reda Maturi. As I peer across to the women's game, the Algerians still hold a 4-2 lead, and there's 1 minute 26 left in that encounter. So at this stage, looking like an all Algeria final in the women. And can South Africa try and work their way into the men's final? Good finish there by young Zakele Shalembe, the youngster from Umlazi in Durban. Ulini converts for Morocco. Tandile Zonke for South Africa. Trying to find Shalembe. Just as well for the South African that he didn't get that pass through, because I think Shalembe had his back to him. So luckily for him, he picked up his own rebound. But once again, shot clock violation against South Africa. Whilst this is going on, the women's score update is Algeria lead 5 points to 3. So South Africa still fighting with 1 minute to go. In the meantime, Shalembe unable to beat the shot clock, and looks like a foul has been called. Foul was called against the Moroccans, so South Africa will have the possession. Shalembe losing control of it, finds Reda Maturi, and these lob passes are not going to help the South African cause with a guy as tall as Reda Maturi, the number 13 for Morocco. So 7 minutes 6 to play in this second men's semi-final, and of course the Algerian one side made it through to the final earlier, and Morocco and South Africa battling it out here to progress to meet Algeria 1, and a great shot there by Sandile Zonke.
Both teams are putting a very good effort in the defense. It's a very low-scoring game, not because they're missing, but because the defense has really stepped up in this game.
And as we say there, as we say that, the South African defense opens the door and lets Mohamed Olini in, and scores are back level. Shot clock at 6. What can Zonke do for South Africa? Looking to find Van Niekerk unable to grab possession there, and Morocco will convert. Zonke puts up a long-range two-point attempt. And in the women's game, it's now 5-4 to Algeria, but the buzzer has blown, and Algeria will progress to an all-Algerian women's final, and we'll bring that to you after this encounter with the men between Morocco and South Africa. Foul there, unsportsmanlike foul by the number 7, Yaku Van Niekerk. What is the situation now?
Team Algeria will get 2 shots and possession, just like as the 5-on-5 rule. And the situation is that if number 7 from South Africa has another unsportsmanlike foul, he will be forced to leave the game.
The number 7 for South Africa, Yaku Van Niekerk, apologizes to his Moroccan counterpart, Matui. So Matui can extend the lead to 2-3. He doesn't. So South Africa still very much in this. A lot of time for them to turn it around.
What happened there is that was a bad check from the South African player, so Algeria keeps the ball. The check needs to be in the player's hand, not in their chair. It needs to be a fair pass.
Unfortunately, there for Morocco, Matui obviously took his eye off the ball at the last minute, and possession back to South Africa. Long pass through towards Van Niekerk, but when you've got a player as tall as Reid and Matui there, those sort of passes are surely not advisable.
No, they're not. But again, you can see that on 3-on-3, size is not the only thing. We would imagine with a player like that against 3 short players, he would be very dominant, and the score shows that that's not what happens.
Yeah.
South Africa has a very good effort in defense and keeping him outside of the key, and it's working.
Looks like the table have not added that last basket there. So Morocco 5, South Africa 2. We have 4 minutes 50 left. Long range attempt. Correction. I'm sure he will tell me that was a pass, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. And South Africa back in possession. Zonke spinning, going nowhere. The Shalembe, great pass there by Zonke. Looked like he was going to hit the back of the number 6 for South Africa, Shalembe, but play worked out okay, and the youngster will go to the line for a free throw. Doesn't drop for the 1.5 point player from South Africa. That was a 2-point attempt. Great, almost a great pass there by Mohamed Olini, and Shalat picks it up for Morocco. Good work in defense there by Yaku Van Niekerk, and the foul is called against Morocco. So South Africa need to get something going. Time is ticking away for them. It's very static by the South Africans. but that just shows good defense from the Morocco side.
Well, South Africans being static like this, they help out the Algerian team because of the height of their center player. Oh, sorry, Morocco, because it helps the height of their center player. And that's one of the adjustments and development that this game will bring to these guys, because he's very used to playing with screens and pick and rolls for him. And with this game, with only other 2 players on the floor, that is very different. So height is not the only skill, only factor here. Skill factors in a lot. They need to be quick. They need to be skillful with the chair to be able to reach the position he wants.
Good work there by the young man there. Shlebe tapped the ball away because he knew he wasn't going to be able to get it away from Matui. So Zonke, can he successfully keep South Africa going? Good work once again by Shalembe, having a great 3-on-3 tournament. The youngster, can Zonke find one shot clock at 3 for Nico. Great work there by the South Africans now.
So can have a 1-point game.
They were at 2 points there. So Shalat, with all the time in the world, doesn't drop, but Van Niekerk will tap the ball away from Shalat. Take the ball out. Finds Zonke. Good work by the South African number 11, and unable to finish there, the youngster from South Africa, Shalembe. Matui. All day long
to make that basket.
I must say, I've stood next to Rida Matui sitting in his chair, and I've looked him in the eye. So he's a tall man in the chair, and I can only imagine how tall he is without the chair. Van Niekerk keeps South Africa in this, so let's see what does Morocco have in store for us in this attack. South Africa keeping Matui at the top of the key, and they'll need to do that for the rest of the game if they want to try and fight their way back. Zonke will be looking for the 2-point shot. Spins away from Shalat towards Van Niekerk. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Van Niekerk tries to arc it over Matui, unable to do so, and foul by Shalembe, and Zahir Shalat will go to the line. So it looks like at this point that we should be having a Morocco-Algeria men's final and an all-Algerian women's final in this 3-on-3. So Shalat extends the lead to 4 points. Can Zonke do something for South Africa? Finds Van Niekerk. Van Niekerk finds Shalembe, and Shalembe narrows the gap. So not completely out of this one, Rui.
They're still in the game. They still have 4 possessions of ball at least over there, and it's only a 3-point game.
They will hope that Morocco don't convert here. Unfortunately for them, they do. Good work there by Mohamed Alini, and I can see 2-pointer coming up here. Will Zonke drop? Aiming's a bit out there, and 48 seconds left in this second semi-final at the 2020 IWBF Africa Afro 3-on-3 knockout tournament, coming to you from the Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre in Johannesburg. And
I think that calls the game, because it's going to be very hard for them.
Good work though. The Moroccans have a good 3-on-3 team here, and they would probably look to be my favourites for the final at this stage. But anything, as we said earlier, anything can happen.
Still 2 possessions.
And that will be that. Game, set, and match, folks. So Morocco 13, South Africa 5. Can Van Niekerk put a consolation basket in there, and unable to do so. And the time runs out there. So at the end of that second semi-final, Morocco coming out tops 13 points to 5, and they will move into the men's final in a short while, where they will play Algeria. Before that, though, we will have the women's final between Algeria 1 and Algeria 2. So we'll be back shortly. Quite a tongue twister, that, Roy.
That is. I'm amazed that you haven't missed any of it.
So, Boublal for Algeria white against Algeria green. So, number 13 there for Algeria green is Kaira Zaire. And also for the green team, we've got Nebia Mahimda, as well as the number 11 is Dabia Samati. And for Algeria white, we've got Norain Boublal, we've got Samia Abdalali on court, as well as the number 8 is Fatima Bouzidi. Coming off the bench at some stage, we'll have Jamila Kimgani for the white Algeria, and as I peer across the court, I cannot see the number of the green substitute for Algeria, so when she enters the game, we will tell you who she is. Nebia Mahimda for Algeria green puts up a shot. She's fouled by Norain Boublal, and she will go to the line. So obviously, Roy, you know, it's been quite clear this week how far ahead the Algerian women's program seems to be going in compared to the rest of Africa.
Well, we've spoken about this. I don't see it's far ahead. It's just the time frame that we're seeing right now. South Africa is going through a renovation process, bringing a lot of young players in, and it takes time for the experience to build in. So I would say that Algeria right now is in a better place, but it doesn't mean that they're more developed. Just internationally, in a time frame, they're better than South Africa.
the South African women's side traveled to Angola in November, and it was good to see for the first time that Angola have now developed a women's side. So we were honoured to be part of that, and hopefully, unfortunately Kenya had to withdraw from the tournament, but they've got a women's side. So yeah, we're hoping that come maybe the next African competition, there will be more women's sides taking part.
And it's very important. IPC, the International Paralympic Committee, is focusing on gender equality in the games. So our members, IWBF members, need to realize that and develop their women's program to help the sport keep on the Paralympic program.
Absolutely. Travel violation there against Samir Abdullali, and Nebia Mahindra will take it for Algeria green. All right. What can she do? Very fast and nimble playmaker for the Algerian team. Kira Zairi throws up a shot as the shot clock was running down. I think sometimes people will see these long-range, crazy-looking shots, but they don't realize that the shot clock's causing them to do that. It's not that
exactly.
That probably wouldn't be in the textbook to shoot that way, but when when the shot clock's running down, you have to do what you got to do.
It's very easy for our viewers to see how much is left on the shot clock. It's that little number under the basket in the back over there. So sometimes when you think that it's a crazy wild shot,
so Mahindra will have to put up the shot. Doesn't go, and of course, if they put up the shot and it doesn't hit the back, the ring, it's a violation. It's a violation.
Yes.
So
the ring, the ball needs to touch the ring within those 12 seconds.
So good defensive work there by Algeria green. Kara Ziri will put up the 2-point shot as the shot clock wound down to 4 seconds there, and the ball bounces out. So Algeria white will have the put in with Abdullali. Boublal trying to get into the key, but she's closely watched by the green team. 6 minutes 47 left, and I must be honest, I'm not sure. We have a 2-0 advantage. I didn't see who's in the lead now. Now I'll be able to tell you as Mahindra scores for the green team. So the white team of the Algerian lead the green team by 2-1. Abdullali. Abdullali's had a good tournament so far in the 5-on-5 version. One of Algeria's key players.
Key players, exactly.
Ball rebounds to the green side, picked up by Nebia Mahindra. Shot goes up, doesn't drop for her. Can she pick up the rebound? She won't be able to. And white team will maintain the possession. Boublal trying to get in there, but again the shot clock running down. Hit the ring, so that was all good. And
with the offensive rebound, they score another point.
Good work there by Nurain Boublal, getting the rebound and extending White's lead over green by 2. 5 minutes 45 left in this women's final here at the 3-on-3 competition, and gets the shot up in the nick of time, but unfortunately for green it does not drop. Just managing to keep it in play there is Abdullali. Abdullali will play it towards Nurain Boublal. Boublal closely watched by Kara Zairi, and
referee blew a foul. We got one shot.
So just a reminder to everybody tuned in, the IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers 2020 here in Johannesburg kick back into action tomorrow, and we've got some absolutely mouth-watering encounters in store for us tomorrow. Game one tomorrow in the we have obviously the men's semi-finals. We have the first semi-final will come to us at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that will be between Algeria and Egypt, and that will be followed by the women's encounter at 3:15 at 5:15, my apologies, between the Algerian and the South African ladies, with of course Algeria have already won the best of 5 series, so in effect a dead grubber. And then the home team, Sasol Amawila Boys, South Africa, will take on the defending African champions Morocco at 19:30. So if you want to see some of the best and most exciting wheelchair basketball action on this African continent, do not miss the broadcast coming at you live from the Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Centre in Johannesburg, and proudly brought to you by Sasol. And you can watch everything unfold on IWBF Facebook and YouTube channels, as well as Wheelchair Basketball South Africa's Facebook page. All right, 4 minutes 10 left in this women's final, and team Algeria white still in the ascendancy, 4 points to 1. What can Mahindra do for Algeria? She finds Kaira Zairi, and the referee blows for a 3-second violation. Abdullali in possession for Algeria. Long pass to the giant number 15 for Algeria, Bublal, and she picks up her initial rebound, and it looks like Algeria white should have enough to come away as the 3-on-3 champions of Africa. Still an offensive play there by the Algerians, so they don't have to go back across the arc. But shot clock is running out. She'll have to put it up, and unfortunately for Nebia Mahindra, doesn't drop. Three minutes left in this women's final. Bublal should finish nicely there for Algeria white, and Roy, it doesn't look like Green have got an answer for the white counterparts.
Doesn't look like it. With this difference, then the way the game is going, score 5 unanswered points would be very hard for the green team.
Good attempt there from Mahimda, but unable to convert. So Abdullali for Algeria, trying to get Bublal, and shot clock at 1. She had to throw it up, hit the ring, so it's all good there for Bublal to pick up the rebound. Doesn't convert, but great work by Abdullali coming in and picking up the loose ball. Number 11 for the green team is Dabia Samati. Finds Nebia Mahimda. Can Mahimda get a consolation basket? She gets it up just in time, but Algeria white cruising to the end buzzer, and can't see any way back for green at this stage, especially if Bublal converts here, and she does. Not dropping for Mahimda, but she's been doing whatever she can possibly to get some more points on the board for green. 1 minute 36 left. Can she convert? Doesn't seem to be her night.
Nope, she's definitely struggling with those shots.
Abdullali another shot up there by Mahimda, but it just doesn't want to drop for her tonight. Also in the country at the moment, we have IWBF President Ulf Meyrings, as well as IWBF Secretary General Norbert Kusera. And what are they doing in town, Ray?
We'll have a forum, and then the Congress for the election of the new board of IWBF Africa that will happen on Saturday. Along with them, also, we have the president of IWBF Africa, Mahmoud Alawi from Morocco, and they'll all take part in these two meetings of the African members.
And of course, tomorrow during the morning, the NOWBs, as they are known, the National Organizations for Wheelchair Basketball from all over Africa, will be involved in a workshop where the plan forward within wheelchair basketball in Africa will be mapped out for these countries. And it should be quite an interesting day tomorrow.
Along with other important forums, as wheelchair basketball 3-on-3 will be spoken about, classification sessions will happen, so it's a very good opportunity for these members to sit together, talk,
and what we will certainly be having a word with Ulf Meyrings. We'll try and get an interview in at some stage during the remainder of this event, as well as Mr. Norbert Kusera, and we'll also be having a chat with Regina Costa, the IWBF classification chairman, and it'll be, obviously a lot of talk about classification at the moment, but we'll be talking more about how classification works. Be sure to look out for those interviews.
And I'm sure everybody's interested in hearing Regina from Portugal, with all the misunderstanding that went on with IPC and how IWBF and IPC are coming to good terms. So wheelchair basketball is not left out of the games, either in Tokyo or in Paris.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is that. So congratulations go to the Algerian ladies team. Their Team White are the IWBF Africa Afro 3-on-3 knockout champions for 2020. I am so glad I don't have to say that too many times after tonight. All right, ladies and gents, coming back shortly with the men's final between Algeria and Morocco.
Thank you.
All right, and welcome to the men's final of the 2020 IWBF Africa Afro 3x3 knockout tournament between Algeria and Morocco. So, Bilal Ayashi for Algeria gets them underway. Zahir Shalat puts up the shot as the shot clock winds down. Rebound picked up by Bilal Ayashi, throws it out to the giant Omar Zidi. Ayashi, favorite part on the court for him, doesn't drop for him on this occasion. Very dangerous from that sort of range. Shalat, very quick player, Harry, the Moroccan number 4.
Oh yes, very.
Oh, and the experience of Mohamed Oulini. So, level, 9 minutes to go. Just over 9 minutes to go. Good defense here by Morocco. But, once again, Ayashi looking deadly from all spots on the court at this stage. Oulini will definitely put up the 2-point attempt. Doesn't drop this occasion, but big Reda Maturi will clean up nicely and level once again. Omar Zidi shouldn't miss from there, and he doesn't. Eight minutes 35 to play. Algeria 3, Morocco 2.
We have the referee sorting a few details with the table officials. That's why it's taken a bit this time.
Foul called on Bilal Ayashi on Reda Matui. So, Morocco, can they draw level? Oulini fakes as if he's going to go for the 2 points, and that draws out Omar Zidi, and they were able to enter the key there, but unfortunately unable to convert. But luckily for Morocco, foul on Zahir Shalat, so he will have an opportunity now to equal the scores. Good work there. Good work there by Omar Zidi, and he's fouled by the Moroccan Shalat. Basket will count.
Basket will count. 1 point counted, and now he has another free throw to shoot.
Unable to make that one count, so 1 point game. Oulini looked like he was shooting, but he was actually trying to find Reda Matui. And what was the call there, Roy? I didn't see.
Regular push.
All right, Morocco. Shalat. Good high defense here by Morocco, making it difficult for Algeria to enter the zone, and forcing the shot clock violation. And Bilal Ayashi does not look impressed.
Nope, he doesn't.
Shot goes up there by Mohamed Oulini. Doesn't drop, but he picks up the rebound. 11 seconds back on the shot clock for them. What can Shalat do? Drives in, thinks better of an attempt against. But great work by the Moroccans there. Quick passing and interchange. And the big Reda Maturi under the basket levels the scores.
It's been a very interesting game with the scores. Tied since minute 1.
Great shot there by Omar Zidi. Shalat finds Matui. Matui gets it away just in the nick of time. Rebound picked up by Omar Zidi. Straight back on the attack.
What this makes this game even more fast-paced is then when teams get their offensive rebound, shot clock is already counting, so the teams have the 12 seconds to get the ball beyond the arc and face back again to get the ball inside the hoop.
So no time for not concentrating in this game. You've got to be on top of things
No time
throughout
for
the game.
not concentrating, no time for resting. It's just a really
Non-stop.
fast-paced game, non-stop game.
I'm sure these players will enjoy their night's sleep tonight.
Definitely.
But I suppose it's getting them sort of all prepared for tomorrow's big semi-final matches.
Well, I'm sure everybody trained during the day tomorrow. They'll train during the morning.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow. They're preparing for that game.
I've been here at the venue all day, and all the teams have come through for sessions of practicing. So, yeah.
We need to bear in mind that this is a very important tournament. It will give one of these teams a spot in the Paralympic 2020 Tokyo Games.
Yep, and as we have alluded to during the course of the week, of course, Africa only have the one position available for the, both for Paralympics and obviously for the World Championships.
Nope, not both. They have one spot now for the Paralympics, depending on the representative of Africa's finish in the Paralympics. They might clinch another spot for the Worlds.
So it's all to play for. So, you know, the African teams really need to start producing so that we can free up opportunities for other countries to take part in the Paralympics and the World Championships. Matui, can Morocco convert? He does, and he'll go to the line for the bonus shot here, and 6 minutes 3 to play in this final of the 2020 IWBF Africa Afro 3x3 knockout tournament.
And in case our viewers are asking, how does the African representative clinch another spot for the zone in the Worlds, is they have to finish top 11 in the Paralympic Games to clinch another spot for the African region.
So there we go, folks. Our friends in Algeria, Morocco, and of course South Africa and Egypt, all to play for tomorrow in the semi-finals, and then obviously the final will be on Saturday, and then we'll know who will go to Tokyo 2020. Great shot there by Morocco, and there was a two-point play there. Algeria
that is an
quickly
important
back.
basket for Morocco. It was the first 3-point lead in this game.
So it gives them a 2-point advantage as Algeria strike back immediately. Ulini, though, always dangerous from those positions. Shot clock is at 7, so Shalat puts it up. Doesn't drop, but can Reda Matui pick it up? He does. Surely Algeria need to take it out, and the referee indicates that. Ball knocked out of Omar Zidi's hand, whilst he obviously doesn't understand the rules quite properly yet.
He was asking the official why the clock was running, and the clock was running right.
Yeah.
As soon as his team gets the rebound, he has 12 seconds to shoot.
Yeah. Surely a foul, and it is picked up by referee Arnold Musoya from South Africa. And 4 minutes 44 to play in this men's final of our 3-on-3 knockout tournament here at the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic qualifiers in South Africa. And all to play for still for these two teams. Could go right down to the wire. Great play
Nice
there
pass
by
there.
Algeria. And the number 12 for Algeria, of course, is Raouf Abad, and he converts for the Algerians. Ulini for Morocco. Shot clock at 3. Puts up the shot. And what did we have there? A foul called against Omar Zidi?
Foul called against Zidi.
All right, so.
Even though his hand was on the ball, his chair was touching his opponent.
All right, so that will send Ulini to the line. Ulini doesn't convert, so rebound picked up by Algeria's Bilal Ayashi. Can Algeria pull level there? Ayashi puts up a long-range attempt and it doesn't drop. Don't think that's quite necessary at this point. They've still got plenty of time
the
to...
The clock was winding down. He had 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They took too long to get the ball outside the arc, and that chewed up a lot of time in their offense.
As we said earlier, the situation there was that as soon as they picked up the rebound, the shot clock ran, and good work there by Morocco. So back into a 2-point advantage.
Now that was an unnecessary quick shot. He still had 7 seconds to go.
And Ayashi puts his hand in his head in his hands, and he realizes that he doesn't need to rush these things just yet. He's still got time here. Ulini to Shalat, hook shot, doesn't drop for him. Omar Zidi will pick it up and take it out. Hands it over to Ayashi. Ayashi will now drive into the zone. Shot clock at 3. Got to put something up. Trying to find Zidi, but not great awareness there by the Algerians on the shot clock.
Morocco has really stepped up their defense. They're playing hard defense right now. That's why they have this 2-point advantage.
Right, 3 minutes 26 left in this game. Foul called against Algeria. Okay, so Morocco starting to pull away, and now Algeria starting to panic, and some unnecessary turnovers creeping into their play at this stage. Ulini, he'll put up the shot, doesn't drop, and Zidi for Algeria will try and bring the ball out. It's a necessary foul there by Rieda Matui. Bilal Ayashi definitely will look to convert here. Pulls away. Shot clock at 7. Zidi. He'll put up the shot. Does it drop? It doesn't. Can he get his rebound? Nope. Good work there by the Moroccans again. Mohamed Ulini. To Shalat. He'll put up a 2. No, he doesn't. Fakes, but he's trying to use the shot clock as best he can. Wow. Buzzer beater.
You got a long range there.
So it looks like things are falling into place for the Moroccan side.
Shot.
Great shot there by Ayashi. So he keeps them in. Now it's another one from Shalat. Picked up. This game's by no means over, folks. Zidi, if he can convert here, it's a one-point game. Just like that, hey, Roy?
It changes just like that. That's why basketball and wheelchair basketball are 2 very exciting sports.
4 seconds on the shot clock. 3. Shalat is going to run out of time here. And now Algeria have the chance to, if not level, go in the lead. So what has Bilal Ayashi got here? Looks like one of the Algerian spectators was getting a little bit too excited here. Ayashi puts up a long range 2 and it doesn't drop, unfortunately for the Algerians. Ulini, he'll probably do the same. Nope, he finds Matui. Matui puts up the shot to the shot clock at 4. Rebound picked up by Algeria. Composure needed by the Algerians. They have plenty of time. Oh, unlucky for them. Turnover ball. What is going on here, Roy?
what is going on. We're getting close to the end of the game. We have a close game, and players are getting nervous.
Absolutely. In fact, I don't think any of the two teams have called a timeout, and maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea to do. 11.
That's another characteristic of this game. They do not play with the coach. The rules does not allow coach.
Yes.
So it's up to the players to realize that they need to stop the game and get things calmed down and under control. It's another adjustment that they will need to make during the development of the discipline.
Adds an interesting dynamic. So 50 seconds left here. Algeria desperately trying to level the score, and surely Ayashi should do that for them now, and he does.
So, a tied game, my friend.
Wow, this is going right down to the wire. Exciting stuff coming at you from the Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre here in Johannesburg, South Africa, and right on cue, timeout called by Algeria. So, sure, 11 seconds. What if you were the Moroccans? They have the possession now. What would you look to be doing, aside from scoring, obviously?
1 point at a time. 1 point at a time.
No need to make any rash decisions and throw up unnecessary shot. Get somebody in. Get the big number 13 Rudimentary into the zone if you can, and make it simple as that.
Exactly. As we've seen, both teams are nervous. They need to realize that 1 point at a time is what you need to get to win the game.
All right, so Shalat looking for a gap. He finds it, but Zidi recovers well. And Shalat will struggle to get it over the giant number 13. And 3-second violation called on Zohair Shalat. Bilal Ayashi thought about the shot, but Olini was quickly onto his chair there. Zidi to Ayashi. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds. He needs to get it up. He found Zidi. Zidi throws it in. Will it drop? It doesn't. Rebound. The ball's bouncing all over, and well picked up there by Zohair Shalat, but he'll need to get it behind the arc, and he hasn't done so. Surely that won't count.
Referees made a big mistake over there. He surely
that could be quite controversial come the end of this game, but let's hope not.
Oh yes.
Have they picked it up?
Nope.
Still not. All right, so.
Nope, they just caught it.
All right, Ayashi puts up the long range and it won't drop. So that means Morocco win the 2020 IWBF Africa Afro 3x3 knockout tournament here at the Afro Paralympic qualifiers here in Johannesburg, and congratulations to Morocco and Algeria for putting on an absolutely exciting final match there. And of course, just a reminder, folks, we will be back with you live tomorrow afternoon as we have some humdingers of semi-finals in the men's section. First game coming to you at 3 o'clock South African time, and that'll be between Algeria and Egypt in semi-final 1, followed by the ladies game, the dead grubber between Algeria and South Africa at 5:15, and then the home team South Africa take on the defending African champions Morocco. Folks in South Africa, folks in Johannesburg, come down to the Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre in Des Valley, Johannesburg, and support this most incredible wheelchair basketball that we've got going on at the moment, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow afternoon. From Roy Marquez and myself, Jerry Smith, until tomorrow, goodbye.